Hello there, lovely people. It's Alex from Nintendo Life here. Now, if I look a little bit sunburnt, it's because I am. Let's move on. Today, we're going to be looking at something totally different. We've never looked at anything like this before. In fact, we've never looked at anything this arguably meta before. We're going to be looking at this. What is it? This little device here is the Elgato Stream Deck. Now, this is designed for when you're streaming and you've got these little things here and you press them and these will have an impact on your streaming software and allow you to do things like select different scenes, so webcam in the corner, big just, gameplay footage on itself, control whether your microphone is on or off, good stuff like that, and just control it through these lovely little hotkeys. And it's totally adaptable. As you can see here, it just looks like little black squares. Well, there is a screen behind here. I believe it's probably a touch screen, but anyway, that's not important. And you can have individual little icons of your own design, if you wish, to do different things and have different functions assigned to them. And you can do things like integrate Twitter and all that good stuff like that, so you can send out automated tweets. It's really, honestly, it's just a really nice little thing. It's niche, but it's nice. It's niche. Elgato were very kind in sending this thing over, and I was able to put it through its paces, and it supports the Elgato streaming software, and indeed it supports OBS, and I don't think it supports anything else. Also worth noting, it supports Mac and PC, which is very handy, because I'm a Mac user. Hate comments down below. But Alex, I hear you cry. I saw that stream you did of ARMS and you were talking about using this thing, and I thought it was a total disaster. Well, you're right, it was a total disaster. However, the fact that it was a total disaster was nothing to do with this thing. In fact, if anything, this helped make it even maybe slightly less of a disaster than it could have been, so top marks for that. No, sadly, the reason it was a disaster is because, unfortunately, well, the Elgato software doesn't seem to run very well on Mac, and that's a real shame. And when I say software, I mean the streaming software, not the software that runs this thing. This thing has already had numerous updates, so that is very encouraging. It looks like they're going to be supporting this for a good old time yet. But no, for some reason, the software just didn't want to play ball, and it appears to be an issue with the Mac software, because I did a bit of research and found a lot of people saying the same things, and sometimes even on Windows-based software, so that is clearly a big issue that needs some addressing. All I was trying to do was have the gameplay footage, a webcam, and a microphone, and for some reason the microphone kept cutting out, the webcam made everything go incredibly choppy and eventually would freeze. Basically, it just was not playing well, and it just made it almost impossible. In the end, it just had to be standard footage and the microphone being constantly, like every 30 seconds, turned off, turned on, using this thing, using a hotkey. It was this one here, so it was very handy to hand. Handy to hand, that's a good thing to say. So overall, the streaming situation on Mac when it comes to Elgato software is pretty poor, unfortunately. And most depressingly of all, I really wanted to try this out with OBS, but because I've got an Elgato capture card, that's not supported in OBS, and it's not OBS's fault. Elgato has locked down their capture cards on Mac so that you can only use them on their streaming software. So I've no idea whether this works well with OBS or anything like that, because I can't stream any software. It's absolutely maddening. Elgato, if you're watching this, please, on behalf of all Mac users, either make your software far more viable and actually make it work properly, or open up your capture cards and allow OBS to use it so that we users can stream, and we can stream properly, because I'd love to do more streaming, and I've heard from you lovely people that you would like to see me do more streaming, and I'm happy to do that, but unfortunately, Elgato's just not letting me. I'll either have to change the capture card that I use and move away from Elgato, which I don't want to have to do, or, get a PC, and I don't want to do that either. But back onto the subject of the Stream Deck, can I recommend this? Well, I can recommend it, but there's a big but. The big but, if you'll pardon the image, is the price tag. It is $150 for just some hotkeys, and yes, it's a very nice device and it's got this lovely finish, it's beautifully well made, but it's still $150 for some hotkeys. So unless you're really into your streaming, it's difficult to recommend. However, if you are into your streaming and you really want to be able to do, quick fire, really handy things like, changing your microphone, changing scene, putting animations on when somebody comes into the stream or donates or something like that, then yes, I can fully recommend this, but you do have to be really into your streaming to do this. This is only only for the really sort of serious people, shall we say. So if you happen to be really big into your streaming and you do want to pick one of these up, then I recommend you look down in the description where you'll be able to find a link to it in the US and the UK and all that good stuff, where you can pick one up for yourself and have it delivered, because that's how the internet works. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, then why don't you find some way to turn that subscribe button into 15 little mini subscribe buttons, and be sure to check out nintendolife.com for all sorts of lovely Nintendo related content. Thank you again for watching. Bye bye.